Maya lived on a farm in Texas. She grew corn and wheat on 300 acres. Every morning, she woke up at 5 o'clock. She fixed her tractors. She checked her animals. She worked all day without help. Nobody in her town knew her real story. Nobody knew that Maya had been a pilot before she became a farmer. 15 years ago, Maya was different. She flew fighter jets for the United States Air Force. She flew F-16 jets in dangerous places. She had 1,200 hours of flying time. She could land aircraft in any weather. She could fly through storms that other pilots were afraid of. She had a special call sign. People called her Hawk because she always saw things that other pilots missed. She was the best pilot in her team. Then one day, something happened that changed everything. A mission went wrong. People died. Maya blamed herself. She stopped flying. She left the Air Force. She came to Texas to be alone. For 15 years, Maya was just a farmer. She did not talk about her past. She did not fly anymore. She kept that part of her life locked away. Her neighbors thought she was a quiet woman who liked to work. They did not know about the jets. They did not know about Hawk. They only knew the woman with dirt under her fingernails who fixed her own machines. One Tuesday afternoon in May, Maya was working her field. The sun was hot. She was checking her wheat crop. She had her old radio in her pocket. It was a military radio from her Air Force days. She still listened to it sometimes, just to hear the air traffic. She kept it turned on by habit. She never thought she would need it. Then her radio made a sound. A pilot's voice came through. It was shaking. It was scared. The voice said, "Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. This is Flight 447. We have an emergency." Maya stopped working. She stood very still. She listened. The pilot continued. "We have lost both engines. We are at 15,000 feet. We're going down fast. We have 180 people on this jet. We need help. We need an airport. Can anyone help us?" There was panic in his voice. His words came too fast. He was trying very hard to stay calm, but Maya could hear the fear underneath. Maya's heart began to beat fast. She had not heard a voice like this in 15 years. This was the voice of a man who was about to lose everything. This was the voice of a pilot who knew his jet might crash. This was the voice of someone who needed help right now. The radio crackled again. A woman's voice from air traffic control answered. She said, "Flight 447, we're trying to find you an airport. We have 3 airports within 50 miles. We are sending you to Johnson Air Base. Can you reach it?" There was a long silence. Then the pilot spoke again. "Negative. We cannot reach it. We have no engines. We are descending too fast. We need a place to land in the next 8 minutes, or we will hit the ground." Maya did not think. She did not plan. She just moved. She ran back to her house. She found her old military phone. It still worked. She had kept it charged all these years. She did not know why. Maybe she had always known that someday she would need it. She dialed the emergency number for air traffic control. When a man answered, Maya said very quickly, "This is former Air Force pilot Rebecca Chun. Call sign Hawk. I am on the ground near the emergency jet you are tracking. I can see it. I can help." There was a pause. Then the controller said, "Ma'am, we need to keep this line open for the aircraft." Maya spoke faster. "I have 1,200 hours of flying time. I flew F-16 jets. I know aircraft. I have a flat field here. I can guide that jet down. I can save those people. Please let me help." Another pause. Then a different voice. An older voice. A voice of someone in charge. "Did you say your call sign was Hawk?" Maya's breathing stopped. She had not heard anyone say her call sign in 15 years. "Yes, sir. That is correct." The controller said, "Hawk. The Hawk who flew the mission in Afghanistan? The one who landed a jet with no hydraulics." Maya closed her eyes. She did not want to remember that. But she said, "Yes, sir. That was me. Stand by, Hawk. I'm going to contact that aircraft." Maya waited. She looked at her field. She had cut her wheat 2 weeks ago. The ground was flat and firm. It was perfect. God had prepared this field for this moment. She knew it. Then her radio came alive again. A new voice. The pilot's voice. He said, "Air traffic control, I have a visual on the ground. I see someone below. She is waving at me. Maya was not waving. She was standing still. But the pilot could see something. He could see the one person who could help him. The controller said, Flight 447. That person is a former Air Force pilot. Her call sign is Hawk. She's going to help you land. Her name is Rebecca Chun. Do you know that name? The pilot's voice changed. It became stronger. He said, Did you say Hawk? The Hawk from Afghanistan? The one who flew impossible missions. The controller said, Yes, that is her. She's on the ground right now. She can save your aircraft if you trust her completely. There was no more fear in the pilot's voice. There was only respect. He said, I trust Hawk. I trust her with my life and the lives of 180 people. Put her on the radio. Maya took a deep breath. She switched to the emergency radio frequency. She keyed the microphone. She said, Flight 447, this is Hawk. I can see your aircraft. I have a landing field for you. It is 4,000 feet long. Your jet can land on it. Do you understand me? The pilot answered, I understand, Hawk. I am ready. Tell me what to do. For the next 8 minutes, Maya guided the jet down. She told him the speed to fly. She told him the angle to use. She told him how to angle his descent. She used all her knowledge from 15 years of flying. She never hesitated. She never doubted. Because she was not just a farmer anymore. She was Hawk again. The jet came down. It was very fast. It was very loud. It touched down on the wheat field and bounced once. Then the wheels hit the ground again. The jet was sliding. The pilot was braking hard. The jet was moving very fast. Maya watched. She held her breath. The jet began to slow down. Slower. Slower. The tree line at the end of the field was coming very close. The tree line at the end of the field was coming very close. Maya thought they might not stop. Then the jet stopped. It stopped 100 feet from the trees. The engines were quiet. There was no more sound. The jet was down. Safe. On the ground. 180 people were alive. Ambulances and fire trucks arrived within minutes. They came racing across the field. The jet door opened. People started coming out. They were crying. They were shaking. They were alive. They were all alive because Maya had been in her field, because she had a radio, because she remembered how to be Hawk. The pilot walked down from the jet. His uniform was soaked with sweat. His face was white. He looked for Maya. When he saw her standing in the field in her farm clothes, his eyes got wet. He walked to her and said, You saved us. You saved 180 lives. How can I thank you? Maya said, You did the flying. I just gave information. You flew that jet down to the ground. That is what matters. The pilot looked at her farm clothes. He looked at her dirty boots. He said, You are Hawk. You're a legend. And you have been here on a farm all these years. Maya nodded. She said, I was Hawk a long time ago. I'm just a farmer now. But when I heard your voice on the radio, I remembered. I remembered that pilots do not let people die. Pilots bring people home. So I helped. That is what Hawk does. News came the next day. Every newspaper wrote about it. Every news channel told the story. Former fighter pilot saves 180 people. The woman who was Hawk. The pilot who became a farmer. The miracle landing on a Texas field. Reporters came to interview Maya. She did not want to talk, but she agreed to answer a few questions. They asked her, Why did you help? She said, Because the pilot needed help. Because 180 people were about to die. Because I knew how to do something that could save them. Knowledge is worthless if you do not use it to help others. They asked her, Will you go back to flying? She said, I do not know. I am thinking about it. Maybe. But today, I was a farmer who was a pilot. Tomorrow, maybe I'll be a pilot again. But today, being a farmer was enough. The pilot came back to the farm 1 month later. He brought his family. He brought some of the people who had been on the jet. They wanted to thank Maya. They wanted to see the field where they survived. They wanted to meet the woman called Hawk. One woman brought her 3 children. She said to Maya, You saved my children. You saved their lives. Because of you, they will grow up. They will go to school. They will become doctors and teachers and happy people. You did that. You gave them their lives back. An old man said to her, I was going to die that day. I was ready. I was saying goodbye in my heart. And then you came. You brought me back. You brought me to my grandchildren. How do I thank you for that? Maya did not have words to answer them. She just held their hands. She let them cry. She let them hug her. She understood what she had done. She had saved 180 people. She had changed 180 families. She had changed the future for 180 lives. She was just a farmer until the jet lost both engines. And her voice came on the radio. And when that moment came, when that pilot needed her most, she was ready. Because once you're a pilot, you are always a pilot. Once you're a hawk, you're always hawk.